Welcome to the first episode of Minesweeper Mastery. Today we're solving an evil difficulty puzzle in no guessing mode, which pretty much guarantees that there is no luck involved and we can solve the whole puzzle using logic. As I solve the puzzle, I will try to explain sometimes my thought process, mostly concentrating on the more difficult patterns and simply avoid any explanation for the simpler ones, which is somewhat around like 70-80% of the game. If you find a situation that you would like to hear an explanation for, then drop the comment below and I will get back to you. So let's get started. As we start solving the puzzle, I am concentrating on more easier things, the so-called low-hanging fruit. I will just jump around the board as soon as I notice anything that is easy. I do not try to concentrate on one particular part and just solve it and move on to the next one. As I solve this thing, I might actually see like someone in this part, jump to it, then jump back here. There is really no focusing strategy for me. Alright, so I see this corner, which is interesting. We have this two, which already has one bomb near it. And we know that the bomb cannot be here, because if it was, then these two squares become empty, and this two won't have enough bombs surrounding it. That is why we're safe to open this particular square and continue with our solution. In this situation, we know all these three squares are empty, because otherwise this one will make these two squares empty. If there was a bomb in one of these three, then these two would be empty, and these two won't have enough bombs for it. Alright, in this situation, there is no bomb in this square, because if there was a bomb, it would make this two fulfill its purpose with two bombs near it. It would make these two squares empty, and this three won't get enough bombs near it. Absolutely the same logic applies to this square with regards to these two, so we can open it safely. Same situation here. There is no bomb in this square, because it would make these two squares empty, and these two won't have enough bombs near it. Same situation again for this square, which would make these two empty, these two won't have enough bombs near it. Here is a more difficult pattern, or a more advanced, so to speak. Let's look at this two and this two. Pretty much this two has already one bomb near it, so it makes the next bomb to be either here or here. But this makes these three squares already have two bombs, so this one is covered, and these three squares to the left, they are all empty, which we can safely open. Now, I don't see anything easy here, so let's try to find out what is going on, how we can proceed in this situation. All right, so we know there is one bomb in these two squares, which makes for this two that there is one bomb in these three squares, right? So for these two to have two bombs, one of them in these two, which makes it another one in one of these three. So there is one bomb in one of these three squares, and we have a 3 here. And to have 3 bombs surrounding it, it means the second and third bomb are right here. So we know the bombs are here and can continue from here. So that was our first major roadblock, but we solved it quickly, which is nice. All right, this situation here, looking at this square, we know there cannot be a bomb in this square, because otherwise this one would make these two fields empty and these two won't have enough bombs surrounding it. Therefore, we safely open. And here is the situation that you would all need to know really well, pretty much. There are two bombs amongst three squares. One of them is 1, and this 3 makes one of these two also 1. So in this kind of pattern, we know that the bomb cannot be here. In this situation, there is no bomb in this square, because otherwise, if there was a bomb here, this one won't have enough bombs surrounding it. We can safely open and proceed. There is no bomb here because of this part. Alright, same thing as before. This one, there is only one bomb amongst these three squares, and this 3 requires this bomb to be amongst these two squares, so this one is empty. In this situation, this 2 has already one bomb near it, and this 3 makes another bomb to be amongst these two squares. That means this 2 is already covered with 2 bombs amongst these 3 squares, so all 3 squares below it are empty. Here we know that this square cannot be a bomb, because otherwise this 2 will make these two fields empty, and this 2 won't have enough bombs. Now what else can we find? All right, let's see. Let's look at this too. We know there is one bomb near it. That means second bomb must be here. This too, we know one bomb is here. That means the second one is amongst these three squares. Looking at this too, we know one bomb is amongst these three squares, and the second one is among these two squares. And because the bomb is either here or here, for this one, it makes these three squares empty. We did open them, but it didn't really make it easier to continue. So we might need to look for another thing to open before we can crack this puzzle up. Kinda looking at this particular section, kinda feels like something has to be about this one. We know the bomb, one of them is here. Or again, like one of them is here, one here. That doesn't help. We kind of know from this situation, from this three, there is one bomb here or here. And for this three to have three bombs, one of the bombs has to be here. And from this, we can open up a bit more squares because we know there's only one bomb amongst these two. It means for this three, there must be one bomb amongst these two squares, which makes this two fulfilled. And we can open three squares below it. But again, this does not let us proceed easily. We're still searching for another thing. I can't seem to find it. That's quite a tough one today. Let's see if we can figure it out. So we know there is one bomb here, which means there's one bomb over here. But that doesn't really give us that much. What else can we see? There's one bomb here, one here. Again, not much. One bomb this section means one here. Again, nothing. All right. Yeah, somehow I didn't notice it earlier, but here it goes. Looking at this two that we have just recently opened, we can see that this one makes this whole section have to have only one bomb, right? This whole section. It means the second bomb has to be somewhere around here. For this two to be fulfilled, there is one bomb surrounding this one bomb surrounding this one. So we know that there is no bomb to the right of this one, because if it was, it wouldn't touch this two, and the whole section, the rest like of the fields would be empty. And for this one is the same. If the bomb is among these three squares, it won't touch the two, so it won't be able to fulfill its bomb requirements. Right, so does that help us to proceed? Or are we looking for more of this stuff? I think we should look at this one. So we know there is one bomb here. Because of this two, there's only one. And the second bomb is here. So only one. So this three cannot have all these three bombs here. Because of this two, there's only one bomb. Which means that one of the bombs must be amongst these two squares, which makes this empty, this square empty. And now this two pretty much says one bomb to the left, one bomb to the right, and we can open up all these three squares, because if there was a bomb here, this one would make these both squares empty. All right, we're finally moving, and yeah, starting. I think this was like the major roadblock of this evil mode puzzle, and the rest should be easy. Let's see how it goes. So this field is without a bomb, because both fields to the top and to the bottom, they require a bomb. And if we put it here, they won't have any. Now this one requires a bomb either here or here. That means there is no bomb to the right of this one. Same here, like this one requires the bomb to the top or to the bottom, which also touches this one, which means none of these three squares have a bomb. Next, we know these two fields contain one bomb, which makes the second bomb for this two to be around here, which makes it impossible for the bomb to be in this square because of this one. And for this square, like to the left, we will know with the bomb count. If there is like one bomb remaining, it means it's there. And if there are no bombs, we will just open it up once we clear this section. This situation, this 4, requires the bomb to be amongst these two squares, which makes this to fulfill its purpose with two bombs surrounding it, and these two spots are empty. For this two, there is no bomb here, because if there was a bomb, these two squares would be empty, and this one won't get enough bombs for it. So because there's only one bomb amongst these two squares, right? So for this 4, the fourth bomb has to be here. And we know, because our bomb count is 0, we know this one is empty, and this should be it. The puzzle is solved. It took us quite some time, like a lot of time, but it was amongst the harder ones. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.